YouTubers, Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone. And happy Labor Day to all of you. Now, what better thing to do on a nice Labor Day morning than to renew our card splitting challenge in archery using field points or target points. And here are all of my available arrows that are not damaged. So today, let's use those 35-year-old aluminum arrows with the damaged fletching that's actually feathers. Let's take those out and try and split some playing cards. And this is the tip that you're working with. If the point of that doesn't hit the card, no split. If the point doesn't continue all the way through the card, if the card doesn't cooperate at all with the point of that, you will get no split. So YouTubers, when we're trying to split cards, this is commonly what you'll see. Using these old feather-fletched arrows from 35 years ago, we're holding dead center, and the first shot hit high and slightly to the right. So in the next shot, I aim down here, and the next arrow went pinwheel. I don't know how you can shoot that arrow any more dead center than that. But what happens is, if you're even 1/100th of an inch off of that card, the point misses the card and the card just slips around the shaft of the arrow. Not enough velocity to split the card unless the point hits that card and goes all the way through the card. That point cannot leave the card at all anywhere, or it will not be a clean split. That's a tough shot. And I don't know how you can shoot a pinwheel any closer to dead center than that. And that card was actually dead center there too, as you can see. Gotta be one of the toughest shots there is, splitting a playing card with a target point. And so toss 3 more arrows into that, 3 more golds, and 1 more that's actually in the slot of the card. But again, no way to split that card once the card is out of the slot. So YouTubers, there's that card, the same card back in the target, and you'll see that now the top part of the card is not straight, so you can't split it there. The bottom half of the card is still good though. So let's try and get the bottom half of the card. We'll give our Black Widow's sight a 1/2 number up elevation to follow the arrows, making a impact a little lower. Well, YouTubers, after making that sight change, next 2 arrows are hitting at the bottom half of the card, and that second shot knocked the card out of the target, and there it is. Let's see what happened to it. There's some damage there. Let's see if we can rest this. There's some damage there. Pick that up, and the bottom part of the card got nicked by the arrow. Almost cut it. The point actually hit the edge of the card, but as the arrow went through, it actually left the card, because the card started bending out to the right, and the point of the arrow left the card and made a crease out to about here. Almost 3/4 of the way through, across. No wonder the card got knocked out of the target. But it did not get split. Frustration again. As you saw, there's a perfect hit on the bottom half of the card by the point of the arrow. But what happened was, as soon as the point hit the edge, the card started to deflect a little bit toward the right like that, and then the point slid out of the card, and all we succeeded in doing was pushing the card over. I know that this shot's been done by several YouTubers out there. My hat's off to them, but I'm telling you, it's a frustrating shot. You might try it, and if you can do it, more power to you. We'll keep trying. So YouTubers, I know today carbon arrows rule, but don't let anybody tell you that the old-fashioned aluminum arrows are not any good, because they won their share of competitions way back when. And even when the fletching is all ratty and torn, they can still shoot very well. I don't mind shooting my old aluminum arrows at all, although I do like the carbon. And this is what we do. Trying to split cards over the last month, and here's another big pile of them. All kinds of damage done to the cards, and this doesn't even count the cards that only received minor damage. And we have succeeded in hitting the edge of the cards, as you can see there, hitting the front edge. But that doesn't guarantee a split of the card, because the arrow tip, the little point, can slide through a certain distance and then lose the card, and it'll come out. So here are the two that I almost split. That one went about 3/4 the way through, and this one went all the way through to the last 3/8 of an inch, but didn't get the complete split, so close but no cigar. This has to be one of the toughest shots in any kind of shooting game there is, because not only must the card be perfectly presented, but the equipment has to be perfect, the arrow flight has to be perfect, straight through. If the shaft of the arrow is not going perfectly in line with the shot, the card splitting will not happen. And then the shot must be executed perfectly, so perfect equipment, perfect shot delivered by a shooter on a target that is also perfectly presented. And only if all those things are in place will you get a card split. Otherwise you get close.